Angela Vance.
I'm very pleased to meet you.
Madame la Présidente. La dernière fois qu'on s'est vu, c'était à l'Assemblée nationale.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. My pleasure to meet you here.
Now the situation in Iran is very changed and was changed, and I hope that it's a pleasure for me. Thank you for all your
For me, welcome in the PPE group.
Thank you for your hospitality, especially in the situation that the Iranian people are under the suppression.
C'est une visite qui a été annoncée depuis longtemps et se matérialiser aujourd'hui. Je crois que c'est important pour cette organisation de rester en la première ligne pour la démocratiser de tout le monde, pas seulement l'Europe. Et qu'est-ce qui se passe aujourd'hui dans l'Iran?
In just 2 weeks, since December 28, an uprising erupted in Iran and rapidly spread to 142 cities. Millions of people, particularly the youth, took to the street. They called for the overthrow of Khamenei and the entire religious dictatorship. They also chanted against Rouhani. During these legitimate protests, over 8,000 people were arrested. Reliable reports indicate that at least 10 of protesters have been killed under torture in prison. Here we have the picture of these martyrs. Today, I have come to the Home of Human Rights to be the voice of those protesters who are presently in prison and under torture. I urge your group and the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe to strongly condemn the killing of protesters in prisons and to urge all governments in Europe to take practical measures for the release of the prisoners. I also ask you to urge the High Commissioner of Human Rights to form an inquiry committee to investigate about the arbitrary arrests and the deaths of protesters in detention. These are my demands as well as the Iranian people's demands. Immediate freedom of the prisoners of the uprising. Freedom of expression and association. No more repression of women. And no more compulsory veil. Now and just today, after 39 years, enough is enough. The religious dictatorship is in an explosive state. It is extremely corrupt and divided. Economically, the regime is in a critical situation. The recent protests have shown that the people of Iran want fundamental change. They want a true republic and elected government that people freely choose and vote. It was proved that the Iranian people reject both factions of the regime. They shouted down to Rouhani, down to Khamenei. They stressed that the game of moderates and hardliners was over. The protests that shocked the regime also demonstrated that the regime is more fragile and vulnerable than ever before. Honorable representatives, Allow me to draw your attention to the situation of human rights in Iran, particularly since the beginning of protests. What their demands focus on who are presently in prison and under torture. In the past years, that the working class and low-income masses form the regime's base. Recent protesters have put an end to this notion. Factory workers around the country have gone unpaid for months. Instead, the mullahs have taken advantage of the nuclear deal to step up human rights abuses in Iran and fuel wars in the region. One of the most popular slogans chanted by protesters was "Leave Syria, think." During the protest, 50 of the protesters were killed. I have the photo here. Some in the streets and some in custody and under torture. These persons were killed under torture. However, unfortunately, Europe remains silent. I have not heard of any European government protesting the regime over the killing of protesters under torture.